When we drew these tags, I called Bryce. I said, can you believe this? We are going to New Mexico again.
I was like, no way, nobody does that. But we got lucky and drew our third time.
And I was really, really excited, like I always am when it's an antelope hunt. And then we got here, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I've never seen it this dry, this parched.
The first 2 years, it was lush, green, water everywhere. This year was completely opposite. We could not believe how dry it looked.
Man, looks like the drought's having an effect on more than just the antelope.
Yeah, crazy. There's this one right over that hill too.
Mm-hmm. You know it's bad. There's no nutrition in the grass, water issues.
It really dampened my enthusiasm for this hunt. But with that, you still have to go. No matter how dry it is, how wet it is, how cold, how windy, you have the tag and you're going hunting.
When I got here, we set up camp and we got an evening scouting. He showed me what he had seen, and what we had seen wasn't very good, but we were antelope hunting, so we were both excited for the opening day. That was the next day.
All right, which way?
Get into killing mode.
Which way? Right or straight?
I saw a lot of antelope up there. This is so straight.
Okay.
And a lot of people say, well, how do you draw tags in New Mexico? The deadline is usually sometime in late March, early April. And the best thing to do is go online, go to the New Mexico Game and Fish website, and apply. I make sure one of my choices, usually my third choice, is a very easy to draw unit.
These cows are excited.
Oh, there's a buck right there.
You're just saying that.
Oh, straight ahead. There's two bucks.
Oh, yeah.
That one looks good.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, he's nice. That back one's really heavy. When I'm used to looking at a 70-inch buck, and then when you come to New Mexico and you see an 80-inch buck, it's crazy.
I'm gonna go up through that saddle right there, and if they keep going up that valley, I'm gonna intercept them.
Be good. Wind should be all right as long as you stay a little bit below them.
Yeah, and the sun is gonna be right in their face. So if you see a bunch of screaming and yelling, see it or I guess hear it.
I'll have the front row seat.
Don't be laughing at me now.
Too late. I'll be laughing. No way.
That hill right there is private. This is public. I gotta stay on this side of that drainage. The antelope are right over there. I want to get down here before it gets too much brighter. I want to stay in these trees so I have some cover.
We use these hats. It's called Be the Decoy. You gotta stop, and I kinda act like an antelope. I'll do a scrape or a rub, or I'll horn some brush. And then when he gets back to the point of, okay, I'm comfortable, and he goes back to feeding, I move forward really fast.
I can tell they got me pinned. They're snorting and wheezing. That's not good. When I was on the other side of the saddle, the wind was going more that way. On this side of this bridge, it's coming this way, and it went right to him.
The first day, I've already blown one stock. And we're on our way to this place that in our mind, there's gotta be antelope there. Well, we're on our way there. Bryce is like, oh, there's another buck over there.
There's a little tall yellow grass. I'm gonna put that between me and him.
It's first day. Gotta get a few of the kinks worked out, see how it goes. Start easing up there, and there's a little tuft of grass between me and him. And the grass is only about this high, but it's enough that I can really make some ground on him. And he would turn and look over at me every once in a while, and I'd stop and I'd do a little bit of this, and he'd go back to look in the other direction. I'm thinking, you know, this is gonna get really close. I mean, I'm ranging and I'm 110 yards. Cool. He's forward, he's forward. I range it 85 yards. Okay. If I can make another 35, I got a shot. I let the antelope, through their body language and their just position on the landscape, tell me what's the best tactic to use. Besides just me, all of a sudden you got a camera on a 5-foot tripod behind you. You know, it's pretty hard to hide out in the just flat nothing.
I met Randy on this hunttalk.com forum. We both were hunting fools, and when he started PMing me and asking me about tricks to antelope hunting with a bow and arrow, we kind of started with that, and it grew on to, hey, let's do an antelope hunt together.
Bryce is so much fun to hunt with and so much my style of how I hunt that it's absolutely, completely stress-free, nothing but fun, nothing but laughs. And my relationship with Bryce, I think, has just gotten that much stronger of a friendship.
The great thing about New Mexico is there's so much public land, and the units that Randy and I chose was full of public land. So when we go into doing our research, we make sure that we're gonna have somewhere to hunt.
If you are the type of person who can do 10, 12, 15 stalks before you get a shot and you're happy with that, then this game is for you.
After the morning hunt, Randy had 2 stalks on a couple really nice antelope. We started the normal routine, driving on the road, boom, there was a buck, and I was looking at him like, man, that's a really, really nice buck. And it was now my turn to stalk this animal. We kind of set up, game plan, donned the hats, the Be the Decoy hats, and said, let's just go, camera guy behind me. Started after this buck, we kind of started closing the distance, and he would look at us, and he was kind of staring at us and took off.
The rest of the first day was just filled with mostly what I would call seek and search. So by the end of day 1, we're thinking, uh-oh, this is a whole lot more difficult than anything we'd planned on.
Let's just peek over here and see if we can find any.
Conditions are more difficult. The number of antelope are a lot fewer. Places we thought about going are dry. There's no water, there's no vegetation. Now it's almost like we're starting from scratch.
What's for dinner?
Tacos.
Tacos for dinner.
You bet.
Okie dokie.
Are you ready?
Ready, big buddy, you?
You know, I used to lie and say I was born ready, but as I get older, I don't think I was born ready. Either if I was born ready, I sure forgot a lot about it since then.
Antelope hunting to me is just like, it's the kickoff of the season. It's the first hunt I get to go on. I'm a big archery nut, and by far the first hunt that I look forward to.
If you said, Randy, you're going antelope hunting, you get to pick one guy to go with you, I'm getting on the phone and say, Bryce, we're going antelope hunting. I mean, there are not even any questions about that.
I've always been an on-your-own type of guy. I love the research of putting in for these tags, looking at my success rates if I draw the tag. I don't like somebody else doing my homework, per se. I like to do it all on my own.
Well, we just saw this one buck over here, and he's very stalkable as long as we can find him before he sees us. Yeah, let's make a run at him.
As a hunter, I don't have to be successful in a hunt like this. The drought was horrible this year. The antelope numbers are way down. I chose to go after one big buck or nothing. On the third day, I spotted this big buck we called Sticks. When he looked right at you, his horns went straight up. We'd look at him, we're like, man, just another, decent buck. And then he turned sideways and boom, he just looked like big old paddles on his head. And I said, Randy, I'm going after this buck.
We're gonna take our time and try to just ease our way over. Wind's good. So we're gonna hopefully he's just bedded here or just feeding. He's probably about 150 to 200 yards away, we're thinking. Hopefully we'll get a chance at him.
Then he finally bedded down in a good spot. So he starts walking out and I start kind of just crawling. I made my stalk too fast and he kind of stops and looks back and catches me. Okay, now that's okay, I have my decoy hat. So I start shaking, doing this kind of stuff. And once they see you, they don't keep their eyes off you. He was just feeding the whole time away. So now he's like 150, 200 yards. So, I've seen Randy do all this stuff before, shake his head, paw the ground. So I started doing all this and we talked about it before, I'm just gonna run at this antelope. So I kind of got up and just started trotting at him and he looked at me like, what is this crazy antelope doing? Like, in antelope hunting, it takes 10 stalks if you're lucky to get a shot.
Another tactic that a lot of people use, and it's extremely effective, and it's extremely boring, is sitting in a blind over a water hole.
Usually by day 4, we're like, okay, let's try to bump up our success rate, so we sit water.
Well, we got in here at 5:30 this morning. It's 11 now. It's been pretty slow. We watched a coyote for a little bit mousing out here. We've got, 10 or 12 antelope around us, but the closest is 300 yards. Everything else is 1,000 yards.
Sat there for 13 hours and nothing came in.
The antelope are so scarce and so removed, and they're in these places more up in what I'd call almost foothill country. All I can conclude is that those antelope are probably watering at night or at some little seep, some little puddle in the road when you get a little cloudburst or something. This time, blinds did not work.
Oh man, am I tired. Getting up early, driving like crazy every day, looking, not seeing anything. Usually on hunts like this with me and Bryce, we would average 5 or 6 stalks a day. And yeah, I'm tired. On this nice, cool water tank with about 2 feet of shade here. Nice concrete pad to sleep on. There's a snake in this rock up here, but I don't care. He doesn't seem to mind me being here, so I'm gonna take a nap while Bryce finds an antelope.
I told Bryce, I said, you can call me Hamburger on this hunt, because if he's got a horn, I'm going after him because I am out of antelope meat. And that's the way I approached this hunt this time.
So Randy and I decided that we needed a little change of scenery. We had already hunted a place that we'd been the previous year.
We should go try that place way over east of here. I'm like, sure, sounds good to me. And I'm thinking to myself, man, as dry as this is, this doesn't look very good. And off we're going, and Bryce, he's like, oh, there's a buck up on the hill.
We're driving in to check out this water tank way out here. And there's an antelope, a lone buck up on this hill up here. And I've watched him, he's fed all the way down into this bottom. And now he's standing right on this old BLM road, about 120 yards up there. I'm gonna walk up there and see what he does.
And this turned out to probably be the funniest and the most exhilarating antelope stalk I've ever been on. I look and he's coming down this cattle path, and I'm right on the cattle path, and I'm thinking, well, maybe he'll come towards me. And sure enough, he starts coming towards me and coming towards me. Now he's like 150 yards, and he sees me and he locks up. I'm like, uh-oh, the gig might be up. For some reason, he decides that he's gonna leave this cow path now, and he's gonna make a little circle around me, and he crosses this BLM road, and he jumps up on a little bank, and I range him, and now he's 25 yards straight across from me. But I don't know what the rule is about shooting across a BLM road. I know most places you can't shoot across a public road. Now I turn and I start walking back towards the cameraman. And the buck, he's walking that way, and he just kind of looks at the camera. No big deal. He gets about 30 yards past the camera, and he crosses the BLM road again, and he gets back on his cow path. I'm right on his tail, and I'm following along and kind of using brush to cover me. This guy is either suicidal, he's really stupid, or he's tired of living in this really dry, parched out, drought-stricken area. And he's broadside, and he actually just made a little bit of a rub and scrape, and he's urinating in it. And I'm shaking so bad just from the adrenaline of this.
Got him.
I didn't hit him in the shoulder, I hit him right here at the base of the neck.
I gotta get another arrow in him.
And now I can see blood just streaming down. I'm like, oh, okay, he's not gonna make it very far. And I range him and he's 30 yards, and I'm like, all right, by the time I come to full draw, he's on the walk, he's gonna be about 40. This time, I hold, I relax, I keep my palm open. Perfect. Right in back here, right out the front shoulder. He goes about 30 yards, and the end of the story. And I look back, and Bryce had been following along far enough behind. He didn't want to mess up the stock or anything.
Well, check him out.
Thanks, buddy.
He's just right up here. I was almost in disbelief. It's like, was this a dream? I have never seen an antelope that destined to wear my tag.
Look at the hooks on that guy.
Yeah.
Good prongs.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Antelope. Thank you.
Those of you who watch this will realize that Randy just improved the IQ of the gene pool of New Mexico antelope.
Oh, Bryce, look at that. He's a nice buck.
Symmetrical, nice prongs. That's a great buck, bud.
Thank you, Mr. Buck. Thank you.
I had the best time of my life watching Randy spot and stalk his buck and decoy it in. I didn't have to be successful in this trip. Being here was all that mattered to me.
If you want a lot of action, you're gonna see lots of them. You're gonna be doing stalks all day long. This is none of the sit in the tree stand and wait just before dark when they come out and you've sat there for 14 hours. This is nonstop action. And usually the seasons are early in the year. So if you wanna start your hunting season early, think about antelope.
When I get hungry for antelope, I will follow them to the corners of the earth. And now he's about ready to be dinner.